Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of our show, Smuggler's Blues, a Star Wars actual play using the Edge of the Empire system by Edge Games. I'm Michael. I'll be playing the role of Tazi tonight, our smuggler captain and pilot. Kaylee,
Where? Oh, me.
right there.
Hi. Hi. Sorry, I'm working on making a Pip Boy. So, yes, I'm Kaylee. I am playing the Jedi on the Run, Karel, who has fallen in with these ne'er-do-well. No, I've been with you guys for like many years at this point, haven't I? Yeah. I mean,
Fallen
ne'er-do-well
in.
still works. Yeah. Hey, Chris, what do you do here in this funny-ass show?
I get to be the GM and the voices of A1 and D4 and anybody else that we run into. So, we need to roll some Destiny pool. Let's start with that.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Ooh, 2 light side
So
for
A1
one.
and D4, there are janitors, right?
Sort of.
Okay.
I
Two,
don't know if I would call D4 that, but
two light side.
that's what I rolled.
I was
What'd you
just,
roll?
I rolled two light side.
Oh, what copycat?
Yeah.
I think
Michael, what'd you
D4. I
roll?
think D4 has a name tag that says Jan Etor.
Wait, that's a great Scrubs callback. I
Thank
approve
you.
of you.
A one dark side for me.
All right. Wow, 4 and 1. That's an odd roll for us. It's usually the other way around.
It'll
4
get
dark
worse.
side, 1 light side. Yeah.
It'll get worse.
So when we last left off, you guys were outside of your humblest abode, and you guys have been attacked by a small group of Faline and some Pike Syndicate through a really nice shot by Tazi. One of the Faline was knocked unconscious. You have him as your prisoner to do what you want, and that's where we will pick up. He is tied up. Where did you guys put him?
A good question.
Probably, I would maybe suggest that we put him in the tunnels underneath.
Yeah.
The tunnels that we recently cleared of, an infestation.
All right, perfect. So who's down there with him?
I
Would you
guess
agree
I
not
am. I guess I am. I said.
That, and I would say probably, I would be willing to, would Carell have brought D4 down for D4's medical knowledge
Oh yeah. I mean, the dude was hurt, so.
or other skills?
Or other skills, maybe. I don't know. Yes, I would have
I mean,
brought him.
technically, we could probably let D4 practice psychology on this captive, and that'll be it. Tell us
Yeah, he'll
anything
give
we
up.
want to know.
He'll give up at that point.
All right. Well, we'll start there with
And D4 doing a little bit of, how does that make you feel?
Corell
Tell
and
me about your
D4 down
mother.
there. So you have the Faline. I'm assuming you bound his hands and feet so he can't move.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put him in a chair, or is he just laying on a cold, wet
No,
tunnel floor?
we're not heathens. He's sitting in a chair.
Okay. All right. Well, he's
We're not
sitting
always
there.
heathens.
Right. I mean, we're sometimes ne'er-do-wells.
He is there, head wound. D4 has patched it up, so it's not life-threatening. And he's just sitting there staring at Corel and D4. D4 is just standing there next to Corel, all 4 arms crossed on his torso.
And I think Corella's just standing next to him, and like they mirrored each other perfectly. Like not even planned, but they're just standing there. Corella's paying attention, but she's also her mind is meditating in the Force. In case this guy does anything, she's still present though.
Okay. There's a light tapping of sound of D4's left foot as he's tapping it on the ground. Are you letting D4 take the lead, or are you going to take the lead in the
interrogation
conversation?
I thought Tazi was going to come down and interrogate him, so Corella's just standing guard.
Oh. D4 is waiting for instructions or somebody to tell him. So otherwise, he's just standing there tapping his foot.
Yeah, I think this goes on for about a half hour, and then Tazi might realize that he hasn't seen Krell and D4 since they went downstairs.
So the intent was for Tazi to do the interrogation.
If not, that is then after about an hour, Carell will probably give up and start asking questions. But yes, that's what Carell thought. It's your prisoner. I figured you would question him.
It was our prisoner, if I recall.
That's true.
Tomato,
It wasn't.
tomato.
It wasn't. It wasn't one person's choice to take this
Look.
gentleman hostage.
Look, we don't own people, Tazi.
I said hostage.
Okay, that's fair.
D4 was told a long time ago he's not allowed to interrogate people alone.
Tazi has probably started with A1, like trying to clean up the,
Okay.
the whatever wreckage was left upstairs. So he's deep in work.
Okay.
Then I think as time goes by, eventually Carell will just kind of come back to herself and go, D4, do you have questions for him?
If you would like, I could ask him a few, but I assumed you would take the lead. My methods are not as polite as yours.
So, yeah, did we get your name? I've forgotten. And I'm talking to the guy.
He just looks at you. No, this is the first time you've bothered to actually address me.
Oh, well, what's your name?
Most people just call me Trayson.
Trayson? Okay, look. I'm sure you're a very nice person, a good being, etc. But you came attacking our door, and well, I mean, there's a lot of damage outside, so somebody's got to pay for that. So if you will tell me who hired you, we will go get the repair bill taken care of by them, and everybody will be fine.
He smiles and looks at you. I would point out that technically, one of you attacked us first. We were just walking down the path when that tree was pushed over on us.
What tree?
I'd make a deception check. Yeah, red and 2 purples is your difficulty.
All right, this roll will obviously set the tone for the rest of the night. Let's see, deception. That's again red and 2 purples. Okay.
No pressure.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate that.
problem.
Just adding that on there.
problem.
Then I
Happy
need
to
some
help.
greens. I think I will spend a light side point because Carell is very present in the Force at this moment.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I should look and see if I have any talents that would help me. I don't think so, but we'll look at it. Nope, that's stealth. That won't help. Okay, that probably would not help. That's discipline. All right. Well, that is a lot of blank dice. Unfortunately, half of them are green. So that is that. That is that. 1 success and 2 successes, 3 advantages.
All right. What would you like to do with the advantages?
I'm gonna just. I think he's gonna he buys into it. Like, oh shit, you know nothing about the tree. Maybe it was just a rotted tree. I'm gonna throw him off his game, and the next check he has to make, he gets a black die.
Okay. So he,
What tree?
after you say what tree, he just looks at you. Well, perhaps that was something else. May I ask what your intentions are with me?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're not going to give me answers, then I have to let my friend the droid here take care of you. And, well, I mean, when I say take care of you, I mean he's going to ask the questions, not he's going to take care of you. Although he is a medical droid, that's kind of not what I meant. So if I don't get answers, then, well, the boss won't be happy. So then I will have to let the droid have a turn. And apparently I am much more polite than he is. Thank you. That's very nice of you, I say to D4.
He nods his head. And Trayson just says, "You've only asked one question, which I would have assumed you'd already known the answer."
I need a name.
Several. I report to several. But
That's a weird name.
is that really the question you want answered?
Well, it's a good start. I mean, you came here to basically rip off a scientist and probably kill him and his family, and we just happened to get in your way. So that's kind of deplorable, honestly.
How do you know we were here to rip him off?
Well, because that's a good question. Keely doesn't
Yeah.
remember, Chris, how we got the information about that, because that was like a month and a half ago.
You guys never actually asked. The farmer was raising the crops. They came down, and Corral dropped a tree on them, just assuming that
Okay.
they were
Well,
bad guys.
I remember that part. Yeah, that is a good point. Okay. You know, actually, that is a very good point. I would probably have to say that it was a reputation-based alarm that we had. The gentleman had heard that people were going to probably come and try and acquire through means of violence his discovery. And well, when you see, gangs drop out of the sky, you tend to. I'm sorry, but if you hear hoofbeats, you think Gundarks, not Jawas.
I understand your point, but I assure you we were not here to steal anything from him. We had already paid for his research. How do you think he got here, and how do you think he afforded the equipment he had?
Well, he didn't have. He had some equipment. That is true. So you're saying you funded his research? The Black Sun and the Pikes have funded this scientist's research together, jointly.
Correct. We actually worked together for once. We have found a common theme that we are working together on.
It must be really good stuff then, because whatever it is, if you guys are working together.
It is more of a common enemy than anything else.
Oh, who's the enemy?
He smiles, this toothy grin. Those that would prevent us from doing what we want to do.
Well, who's that nowadays? With the Republic gone, there's really nothing stopping you.
Quite the opposite. The Republic did not send large ships onto planets and immediately begin shooting. They would at least investigate. It did allow us more freedom to move.
So you're anti-Empire is what I'm hearing.
That is one way of looking at it. I am going to assume you are pro-Empire, since you interfered with our establishment.
I'm pro-me.
Ian,
What?
you said you're pro me. I said Thean.
Gotcha.
I thought it was funny.
Thank you for the joke. I appreciate it. It was heartily appreciated. Good one.
He just looks out to you at Krell. If you are not pro-Empire, and you are pro yourself, I would suggest you not make enemies on both sides.
That's a good. Obviously, nobody wants to fight a two-front war. That's just silly. That's like, I mean, that's like fighting battles on Hoth. That only the seriously deranged would do that.
I agree. So, why don't you let me leave? I will take the product that I paid for.
Well, let me confirm that. And if I can confirm that, you have a very logical and sound case. If that is true, then we will apologize for shooting at you and let bygones be bygones. So please wait here.
Qui-Gons be Qui-Gons?
Yes. Droid, would you please watch our guest for a few minutes? Standard
He
protocols.
He nods and continues tapping his foot and just
I'll
staring there with his
I'll head
arms
upstairs
crossed.
looking for our guests.
Okay. Federico and Orsa are currently in the back room. If I remember right, she was a little weak.
Yeah, I had to carry her all the way here.
You go back there and they're there.
Is
And then
Tazi with them? Otherwise, I'll collect A1 and Tazi on my way through.
Tazi, I think Tazi and A1 were in kind of like moving around the main floor, trying to do their best to clean up a little bit.
I'll
Yeah.
Clear
then
some of
as
the
I come
rubble and-
upstairs, I'll ping you guys to meet me in their room.
Got it.
A1 rolls over. Everybody rolls into the room, walks into the room. And Federico turns around. Yes?
So, some information has been presented to me, and I need to check its veracity. Who is underwriting your research?
It was a private organization.
Were they called the
was
Slack
approached
Bun?
by-
Or the Geik Pan?
No.
Geik Pang? Geik Pang. That would be Geik Pang.
No, they just approached me as saying they were part of a small research branch of one of the universities on Coruscant.
Hmm.
I really didn't do much more than, well, take their credits. My wife is sick, and I really needed the help.
Okay, so you took their money to buy your equipment, and so they funded your research, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we may have made a tactical error here, in that they were here to just try and collect their research that they are funding.
He looks very confused. Then why did my contact at the university tell me I needed to get off planet with the product? That the wrong people were coming to get it.
Okay, so your contact at the university who paid you called and told you to leave.
Yes.
Okay, who was your contact's name?
Freya.
Okay. All right, so we now have a counterclaim against this, so we need to figure out who is the rightful owner of this stuff. Which, I mean, it's you, but if obviously you're being underwritten, they may have a prior legal claim on it.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, we'll be right back. And Carell walks out of the room and goes down the hall and waits for the other two.
A1 just looks over at Tazi, then watches Krill leave, and then looks back at Tazi. What just happened?
I think I'm not quite sure. I think Corell may have gotten some information about where the farmer was getting their research funded.
From who?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming some arm of the Black Sun or the Pike Syndicate. I don't know. It wasn't clear, but I mean, the Pikes were coming here to get something. Right?
All right. Yeah. I guess we should.
I mean,
follow her.
we were told they were coming to collect. We were basically hired to protect this guy. Well, maybe not so much hired, but we kind of volunteered to protect this guy.
I got suckered into it. Yep. I understand.
I mean, I wouldn't put it so bluntly, but you're not wrong.
Right. So, acquired the
Not
job
the-
the same way we normally do.
Not the first time we've acted on less than full amounts of information.
Yeah.
The holocron is always half empty, right? Not half full.
Yeah. Am I getting pinged? Oh. Yeah. So, I guess we should go with her and see if we can figure some stuff out.
I mean, the rest of this mess will wait. I mean,
Yeah. How do we know the guy's telling the truth?
if we had some of that truth serum that KO used to make.
Yeah, we should see if D4 can make that. But
I don't know.
Aelin's saying that he's-
I don't know that KO
Every
ever.
phone.
I don't know that KO ever actually recorded the process for how to make it.
I don't. Well, I think the things he recorded we don't want to watch.
And no, not those things. No, those we wiped those things from the bank. So
Maybe not all of them.
most of that stuff was kept on the stellar cloud anyway. So it's
It's
luckily it
probably
wasn't
out there.
necessarily kept on the ship.
Luckily, most of it wasn't filmed on. Anyways, let's go. A1 just continues rolling down and follows Corell into the
Wait,
tunnel.
are you trying to say that some of that stuff was filmed on the ship?
What was filmed on the ship?
Your bright smile and
You're
Calm
leaking
demeanor.
oil, A1. You're full of.
Yeah, no,
You know what?
A1
This isn't
A1
the
just
time.
A1 just implied that some of KO's less than savory hollows might have been filmed on the Kralitz Fey without our knowledge.
Oh yeah, 100%. That
Wait,
checks.
you knew that?
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody ever tell me?
Well, KO was afraid you'd need a cut.
and
Like
it was your
rent?
chair.
It's just, he doesn't have that chair anymore, A1.
But no, my chair. This.
It was the old chair. It was the old chair.
Oh nope. We're done talking about it. Let's go. This is no longer a conversation I want to take
I
part
mean,
in.
the cushions needed to be replaced
No,
anyway.
we're going to just.
You'd
if
worn
we
them
could- if we-
to
nope.
threads.
If we could add an industrial sanitizer to the list, I'm gonna need and a spray unit because I'm gonna need to spray everything in the cockpit.
But that was like years ago. That was before your mom did the refit on the ship. So that chair is like long gone,
No, I
along
know
with
the
most
chair
of the
is
control
gone.
surfaces.
No, I know it's for my peace of mind.
Okay. A1, take a note. Tazi wants to clean something.
Okay.
Who knew? Anyway, so our guest downstairs claims that they were wrongfully attacked by us, that they did not attack us on purpose. We attacked them, which actually may or may not be true, and that they were underwriting Federico's entire research project. So they basically, well, they kind of own his stuff.
So
Like controlling interest-wise.
So we were asked to protect someone from turning over the work that they were paid to do to the people that paid them to do it.
If he is telling the truth, yes. Now, gang members are not always known for being truthful. Although I did pick up a bit of gossip that apparently the Black Sun and Pikes are on the outs with the Empire, so good news for us there.
Can you use any of your
Charm?
I don't know what them your mystical abilities, right?
Are you asking me to do things?
I mean, only if you think you can do it in such a way that would be minimal to we gotta figure out if he's telling the truth or not.
Well, if we're going to do that, then I would say we let D4 do some light interrogation. And I can kind of monitor him and put him in more of a suggestive mood.
If you can do that in a low-key way that would prevent you from being detected in doing so, then yes, I think it would be a judicious use of your abilities.
I mean, unless he's force sensitive, I doubt he's going to notice anything.
Well, yeah, but given the state of everything, I don't want anyone else to notice that you are using your powers either.
Oh, okay, I get that. It's kind of a dangerous time in the galaxy, so,
Indeed.
Okay, so let's go and let him. Well, I'll go down and. Yeah, I'll head down there and work with D4.
Okay. Should we continue cleaning up here, or do we need to tend to anything else?
I don't know. What do you want to clean more? You could come
Well, I mean,
downstairs.
the place is a mess.
Well, yeah, it was like that before the fight happened.
And
It's just worse now.
I don't know if more of us will make the interrogation easier or harder.
It could be more of a distraction for him. So if he feels someone tiptoeing through his emotions, he won't know who.
My worry is that if it's like if you gang up on somebody, they shut down quicker, right? So if there's more of us down there, he may feel like he's being attacked versus being questioned.
Okay. Just me and D4 then. Gotcha. Yeah, if you would clean my room next, that would be great. Thanks.
Well, we'll check everything for the wreckage and do the farmer and his wife need anything?
Honestly, I forgot to ask. I was watching The Prisoner. I was waiting for you. I gave up when you didn't show up for a while because you were cleaning, and then
I thought you and D4 were handling it.
I thought you were coming down to handle it because he is a prisoner, and you're our captain. Also, you're better peopling than I am. Remember me hit things, you people things?
I mean, me shoot things, you hit things.
Right, and that's also part of peopling, when the people mouthing doesn't really, work out right.
How about you go down with D4, and if you're having a hard time with it, tag me in.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll clean up here, and we'll see if there's anything we can do for the farmer. Maybe we can get some more information out of them.
All right, high five.
And high four.
Corel jumps up to hit your hand and heads downstairs.
And we follow Corel downstairs. Back down there. D4 still standing there, all forearms crossed against his torso, left foot still tapping. He's just staring at.
Is the prisoner sitting in like a chair in the, actually sitting in the waterway, or is it just in a room down, like in one of the side rooms?
I picture it's like in a side room.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Something with a door that closes.
But it's definitely dank. It's definitely like sewer-like.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, low light. There's just one light probably in the room. So he's kind of partially in shadows. And Corel comes walking back in. He looks up. Ah, you're back.
Yeah, hi. So there is more confusion here. Apparently, they were warned by the people who hired them that people who did not hire them were coming to steal his work. So, since I am not sure which team you are playing on right now, unless you can provide me with some definitive proof, I'm going to have to let my companion do some light interrogation. No hurting people. You get that?
E4 looks at you a little confused.
What method would you like me to imply?
Well, you're very good at psychology.
Very well.
D4 walks over.
And Crow like kind of steps back into the hallway, kind of into the shadows, and I'm going to attempt to influence his once D4 starts like his first couple questions. I'm going to start kind of leaning on his emotions a little bit to make D4 seem more trustworthy.
Okay.
I
we
need
see
a I need to know his I'm rolling discipline versus discipline.
red and 2 purple.
What an many crickets he's got a discipline. Oh, okay, that works. Yeah, I got him. No problem. And then I need to roll force dice too. So yeah, I got like 3 successes and 3 advantages on the check. So
Okay.
and I have 5 light side I can 5 force energy I can play with. So I'm good with that. All right, cool.
Okay. We see you do that. And D4 kind of squats down, uncrosses the bottom 2 sets of arms, gets so his eyes are level with the eyes of the Faline, and looks over at him.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Grayson looks at him. Well, I am a prisoner currently, and am feeling uncomfortable.
Tell me more about how you were raised.
And
This is when Carell starts to gently push the emotion of like, oh, he's just asking. He wants to know about me. That's nice.
Right.
Nobody ever asks.
he looks a little confused and looks at D4. I was raised by my father and mother who had a similar career that I have. So it's kind of in the family.
Very interesting. Tell me about your mother and your relationship.
He looks even more confused. This is very strange. If you would like to know some information, I'd be more than happy to talk, but discussing my childhood and my mother seemed like an odd thing to do. D4 kind of glances out at the door where Corell is and turns his head back.
I do not disagree. I am not used to non-contact when I have done interrogations in the past. My former employer was less bound by morals than this crew is. I am trying to learn how to understand people on a psychological way. I understand you very well physically, but not psychologically.
The guy goes, well, I could just tell you if we could just work out some sort of deal. Perhaps we could both come out on the positive side of this. You seem like the logical, more intelligent one of the group, less emotional. E4 turns and looks at him.
I have less emotions programmed in. Therefore, yes, I would say that I do use more logic. But at the same time, logic also says if I let you go, there's a good chance you will bring more of your friends back here. And then we have to deal with that. I would need assurances that that would not happen.
Grayson looks back at him. That is reasonable. And more likely that's what I would have normally done. But I feel like you understand this situation better than they do, and we could definitely work out a deal. What is your plan with the flowers?
Just then, Corell's comm goes off.
Shit. Carell runs down the hall. Yeah. So, what?
Yeah, how's it going down there?
Well, we were doing good until you called.
Wait, I interrupted? Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yes, you 100% interrupted.
Griff,
D4 was making good inroads, like got his trust and everything.
okay, you don't need me down there then?
Well, I don't know now because I'm down the hall talking to you instead of talking to D4, listening to D4 and attempting to, as Kale put it, wiggly hand the guy.
Got it. I'm sorry, I'll let you go.
What did you
Get back
need?
to it. I was just checking in.
It's too late now. Okay. Ow, I just dropped something on my foot.
Well, don't do that, especially down in those
No,
tunnels.
yeah, I mean, I could
might get an
definitely get some
infection.
sort of infection. Yeah, I got that.
Okay,
All right,
I'll let you
call
go.
you back.
I'll let you go.
Yeah, why don't I go back? Okay, bye. And Krell, limps back down. Ow, I'm okay. Goes back down to listen.
Okay. You hear Trayson say, I feel that... What if you take some of the flowers? I'll take some of the flowers. We can both be on our way. I will try to convince my superiors to overlook the ambush you laid on our group. Because you did fire first when we came up. We would have come up and just talked with things to you, but instead, we had to try to defend ourselves. Which I will say is rather impulsive. Perhaps you could work with your crew on that. Maybe they could become more diplomatic. E4 looks at him.
I've been with this crew for a while. Controlling impulses is more difficult than keeping our ship in good repair. Could try to work on that, but it is not our strength. In a strange way, I feel that some of their emotions are their strengths, but I feel I'm diverging from our discussion. Please tell me more about your plan.
Trayson looks at him and says, well, very simple. I will call my superior, Mr. Voss, and tell him that this was a misunderstanding, and that in the misunderstanding, shots were exchanged, and we no longer have to pay certain employees. And then I will take some of the flowers, you take some, and we go on our separate ways. D4 looks over.
That is somewhat logical, but I would need some guarantees that your Mr. Voss would not come after us in any way.
That is fairly reasonable. Perhaps your captain and him could talk, and they could work out something.
That is possible. Perhaps, though, I think we should let emotions calm themselves.
Says, yes. Perhaps I could no longer be a prisoner and become a guest. D4 looks at him.
Fortunately, that would not be my decision. I think that would have to be something the captain would have to decide.
Grayson says, well, please, discuss it with him. Obviously, I'm not going anywhere. And with that, D4 hits his comm and is calling you, Tazi.
Chris, before the call goes through, do I get the feeling, like, do I feel like he's telling the truth? Like he's going to be above board about this?
Make a perception check. Two reds and a green.
2 reds and a green? Thank you. You mean 2 reds and a
I'm good.
purple?
2 reds and a purple. That's what I meant.
I mean, I'll take the bonus green. That's perfectly okay. 1, 2, 3. 2 more green. Where are you, green dice?
It's like Life Day.
Only a few months early.
Every day is Life Day.
When you're a Wookiee.
Ooh, that cancels. That cancels. That cancels. That cancels. 3 successes.
He is up front with wanting to get out, and he's not afraid to make a deal. You're not 100% sure he's been truthful the entire time, but he is also tied to a chair after having a blaster shot to his head, so he's obviously going to say whatever he thinks he can to get out of the situation. But right now he seems pretty truthful.
Okay. All right. Kroll will walk into the room at that point as D4 kicks on the comm.
Tazi, your comms going off.
Tazi's comm kind of rings out through the echoing of the bass that go for Tazi.
Captain, I have talked with Trayson here, our guest. He is offering a solution to our problem.
What's
Perhaps you can come down and discuss this with him.
yeah, I can make my way down there.
Very well. I will see you shortly.
Yeah. Tazi out.
And D4 turns off the comm and stands back up, takes a step back, crosses his arms again, and we hear the light tapping of his left foot as he's waiting.
Corell leans against the door jamb with her arms crossed as well. And counter taps her foot. So like he's on the downbeat, Corell's on the upbeat.
Yes. And Tazi, you come walking in after a few minutes and you hear the odd tapping between the two. And when you walk in, he says, "Oh,
Right,
Captain."
so there's some kind of deal on the table. What are we talking about here?
Well, I have made the simple suggestion that you take some of the flowers, I take some of them. I will talk to my superior, let him know that this was a misunderstanding, and that we have a few less employees to pay, and suggest that there is no long-term threat between our association.
And if I'm, player asking, because again, this was a little while ago, we found, or we were told that the flowers are some kind of narcotic, correct? A very powerful narcotic, or healing,
Yep, either one.
Depends on how they're made.
How they're processed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And we don't know what type of processing the Black Sun or Pike were planning to do.
Correct.
We are assuming that they were going for the nefarious
That is
drugs
the assumption
versus
you guys
healing.
jump.
Yeah.
It's definitely the assumption you guys jumped to.
All right. Thank you. Tazi will pace back and forth. And let's do... I'd like to make a charm check.
Okay.
If I can.
All
to
right.
try to get our prisoner to divulge how if they know how the groups, the Black Sun or the Pike Syndicate, whichever they are more affiliated with, were going
Mhm.
to use the flowers.
Okay.
What's the difficulty on a charm check, Chris?
That's what I'm looking for.
Isn't it 2 reds and a purple like all his other skills?
Charm is a cool check. That's a little different. Let me look at his cool.
It's low. Hope it's low. Hope it's low.
So cool.
Look at that. It is 2 red or it's a red and 2 purple.
Okay,
Funny enough.
that's fine.
So far, all of his social skills are pretty much that.
He's actually a middle manager. That's why everything's like, it's all social. Can't shoot for shit, but he's definitely got management potential.
Right, that
Tough to shoot when
is
you went unconscious.
3 successes and a threat.
Okay.
Sorry, no, 3 successes. Yeah, just 3 successes.
Okay.
The advantages and the threats.
All right.
Fly shot. So just 3 successes.
All right. So what do you say to him?
And the the split of the flowers, not a horrible deal. Not a horrible deal to be offered. What, if I might ask, what is your group's interest in these flowers? I know you funded the research. I understand that was done, but what's the intent for the flowers?
He smiles. A big, bright, toothy smile. I only want to make people happy. And if I happen to make a few credits in the process, then so be it. What is your intentions with the flower?
I mean, making people happy is it's obviously it's a very noble gesture. In what way would your use of the flowers make them happy?
In a way that would make them forget about their troubles.
Hmm. Understood. Understood. See, here's the thing. And this is maybe this is just me. But I tend to personally frown on maybe it isn't just me. I tend to personally frown on the development of new or possibly potent narcotics. Right? When said flowers could be used in a therapeutic way to heal instead of harm.
Very noble of you, Captain. Perhaps that can be your quest with them, but my employers have their own ideas in mind.
Of course. Of course.
Profit and control are 2 of the main motivating factors within the organization right now. As I have stated earlier, the galaxy is much more difficult than it used to be.
Yes, I see.
Ain't that the truth?
Let me talk to my compatriots here, my crew, and to see if that deal really sits well with them as well. Do you mind if we step away for a moment? In fact, it doesn't look like you're going anywhere, so you just hang tight, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Very well.
I'd say, Tazi leads the rest of the group out of the room and actually shuts and secures the door behind him.
Okay.
And walks a little further down the dark, dank corridor toward the exit stairway.
I hear the very rhythmic footsteps of D4 as he's following behind you.
The white noise of the machinery and everything else that runs down here, the water flowing through the pipes.
The
All right.
sound of the droids that are doing maintenance somewhere.
Mhm. Look, I know it seems like we may have stepped in it here with both feet. I still don't feel good about letting them take this research. I know they paid for it. I understand that.
Oh, I'm still not sure that they actually did. Because Federico said his contact on Coruscant warned him that other people were coming. So
Captain,
Yes.
might I suggest perhaps we end our conversation with this gentleman and go to Coruscant and learn the truth? Perhaps the university had good intentions in mind with this.
that's really dangerous, though. I mean, we're severely wanted.
That is true. Is it that, or we do something else with the flowers?
Well, we try and find out from the farmer who his contact on Coruscant is, and maybe reach out to them separately.
That is a possibility. I will say this, Captain. My former employer, he made quite a bit of money off of making people feel happy, I believe is how the gentleman said it.
I understand there's a lot of credits to be made in that business, but it's a business I have no interest in being a part of.
I am not disagreeing with that. I am just saying that his employers will be very displeased if that profit is gone. We prepared to deal with those consequences.
So
We
it
have-
kind of... Oh, go ahead.
We have upset the Black Sun in the past, but there's something bigger, I fear.
So it seems like we can take the flowers and Federico and family and run and give up all of this. And Corral kind of gestures around at the castle.
Is the gesture sarcastic in
It's
any
a
way?
little
Okay.
sarcastic, just a skosh. And then, well, we're on the run from the Black Sun again, or the Pikes, it could be this time. He still hasn't answered the question, although he did say something about his boss named Voss. Where have I heard that name before? I think this sounds like a great time for an underworld check, perhaps? And maybe trigger one from Tazi also?
Yeah.
Yeah, my powerful underworld. What's the difficulty?
Yeah.
He is a very unknown figure at this point. He's working his way up that. I would say it would be pretty tough because they're going to keep their identities pretty unknown, so I would almost be tempted to say 4 purple.
Okay.
He's really been doing a good job. Of course, D4's got a heck of an underworld score.
I got it, actually. 2 successes and a threat. With my my yellow and green die.
Okay.
Yeah, I I got a triumph with
Whew.
2 threats.
Okay.
Apparently, we are in tune with the underworld at this point.
All right. Give me just a second.
I think with those threats, I think Tazi's fairly sure that he's heard the name before, but he also knows that that it's Black Sun related, and to try to pull any more information on this is going to cause a flag. Is going to get them
Yes.
much more attention than they want.
You know that he is. Let's see, how would I put that? Currently, what you guys would know what that role is. Dryden Voss is a figure that has worked to pull the Black Sun and the Pike Syndicate and several other smaller illegal operations together and operate under one banner. With your triumph, you've heard the term Crimson Dawn. So you know if he is able to get multiple groups to work together, he's probably not somebody you want to trifle with.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if my gut says this is a fight we're not going to win.
I mean, I've heard a little bit about this guy. He's been kind of a mover and shaker in the underworld for the past 2 years, ever since the Empire rose. He's
his name-
managing to thrive when the Empire's cracking down.
He's associated with a group called Crimson Dawn, and yeah, by all accounts, he's bringing a lot of groups together. I don't know. We may be better off taking the deal. But I mean, I think I think it still warrants finding out who paid the farmer.
100%. I think as long as Federico and family are not part of the deal, as in they stay loose, they stay free, I can deal with the rest of it.
I think the challenge then becomes this farmer, right? Knows what they've been making.
Right, we have to disappear him.
Yeah. And his information and his process.
I know a couple people who could help us with that.
Griff, just,
Yeah, it's not a good answer, but
no,
this was dropped in our lap.
It's just we can't just live a quiet life, can we?
No, we can't.
It would be possible. We would just need to stay out of the affairs of others.
The problem is none of us are particularly wealthy, and
or good at minding our own business.
Or good at minding our own business. I mean, I tend to be a little crusadery. But we've not done a very good job of we've barely kept ourselves afloat. And if we had fewer morals, I think that would be much less of a problem. But we are who we are.
Yep. Yeah, that's not going to change.
Very well. Then we accept our fate Are we going to take the deal, or are we going to go our own route?
Before we say yes to anything, I think we need to find out more details about how this deal was struck. The deal with the farmer and the syndicate, or the Crimson Dawn, whoever. I guess we should find out who's paying first.
Very well. Would you like to discuss this further with Trayson, or are we going to investigate this in a separate way?
Let's hold off on Trayson. Let's go ask the farmer. Even if the farmer doesn't know specifically who's paid them, they'll be able to trace the money back somewhere, right?
Or
The credits have to come from somewhere.
We have a very good hacker who could do that too.
Yeah, that's true.
But we need a point. So, all right. Yeah, let's go talk to him. And Krell pulls out a data pad and starts typing a message as she walks upstairs.
Okay. What's the message?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
Unless somebody asks me in character. So.
All right. You guys head upstairs. A1's been rolling around, still cleaning stuff. He sees you guys. Oh, are we done with him? Do
Well,
I need to
it's
clean more
no,
up?
no. We have to go find out from Frederico and company whether or not the deal we're going to be proffering him is a good thing or not, and who exactly his contact is who warned him. Honestly, this is getting so convoluted. It's like one of those like Order and Law hollow shows that you used to watch, Tazi.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of a little bit like that, right?
I mean, every time I turn around, something new drops. I expect to hear that, like that. What is that? Ding, that thing. It's really annoying, but it's kind of catchy.
I think it goes dun dun
Dun dun.
dun dun.
I thought it went dun dun dun. Isn't there two staccato beats and then the longer held one?
I think it's just the 2 beats.
Whatever. It's been a while. Let's go talk to Frederico. And Carell finishes typing a couple more sentences, and you hear her tablet blip the sound of a message going off.
All right.
We go into the room.
All right. You guys walk in. There's Frederico and his wife, and he looks up. Hi, hello.
Okay, so we have the makings of a possible deal. I'm going to start by saying this deal is, from our point of view, is non-negotiable unless you and your family are to go free. Okay? We're going to start with that.
Oh, okay.
You're good with that, right? You don't want to go with them, just double checking? Because we've been making some mistakes on the whole, assuming things lately.
Not really.
Okay, good. So, I would like you to give our wonderful droid friend here your contact's information, the one who told you, that's the one that's on Coruscant that told you that these bad people were coming to get you. We need to kind of backtrace that to see if that was true, somebody was playing you, or if you actually were indeed financed by the Black Sun and the Pike Syndicate.
Okay.
Do you have like a comm code or a way to reach them?
Yeah. Her name's Preya. She's at the university. He gives you a comm code.
Hand it over to A1.
A1 looks over. We just call her and ask her, or
Well,
something
can
more
you do a
want me to
little
do?
digging, perhaps? See if this person actually works for the Coruscant University. Make sure they're not like he's not being frog fished.
A1 looks over at you. Are you asking me to break
Yes,
into a
yes.
universe?
Again, yeah, 100%. Yeah, we played this game so many times. Do you really need to do it? You just like asking me, don't you?
I mean, yes,
A-
I like to.
A1.
Yeah,
A1.
Yes. Tazi.
Please break the law.
Yeah, honestly, beggars can't be choosers at this point. My morals are quite a bit more flexible than they were 3 years ago. The last time I was on Coruscant, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. What? Time is an illusion. So please break into the Coruscant University and find out if this is actually a person.
He starts rolling away. He stops as he rolls by you, Tazi, and just turns his dome. I'm so proud of you guys right now. Rolls towards the a computer terminal and he plugs in. Gonna take him a few minutes. Is there anything you guys want to do while he's doing that?
I'll just wait. She checks her tablet every couple minutes, but that's about it.
Ozzy pulls his pistol out and starts like giving it a little wipe, a clean.
All right. D4 is just over there checking on Orsa, the wife. Yep. After 10, 15 minutes, D4 rolls back. Or A1 rolls back. D4 still standing there. A1 rolls back, looks over at Tazi. Yeah, she's a professor of biochemistry at the university on Coruscant. Looks like she's researching some new breakthrough in pain relief and something to be used on the sick. I really kind of phased out on that part. I just confirmed her identity.
All right.
He pulls up a picture, puts it up there, and you see a Twi'lek wearing she's got red skin with black kind of highlights. Her liqueur pulled back together, and she's got little glasses on and a little lab coat.
Oh my god, she's adorable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's very cute. And she looks kind of like a nerdy Twi'lek professor.
Is this who you were in contact with?
Frederick was it? Yes. She calmed me a few times and knew that I had worked at one point on growing new strains of flowers, and she sent me some seeds to cross-pollinate and sent me down here. Sent us enough credits we could get things established.
So it sounds like the Black Sun, our companion downstairs, is kind of pulling our leg a little bit. So I guess the best option is to play along, give him the compromise he wants, and we amscray for somewhere safer for a while.
If you want. I mean, or we just work out a deal and we stay here.
Do you
At the
trust
beginning
them
or
to
what?
abide by that deal?
I mean, where else we gotta go? We got the Empire, then we'd have them. What if we work out some sort of deal where we maybe work with them to say we're sorry, but yet we still keep some of the flowers?
Well, no, we're going to keep half of them.
Okay. So maybe
Well,
we do.
Frederico technically is going to keep half of them, but I believe that part of... If everything goes the way I think it's going to do, that research is going to be in the flowers. I mean, we might be able to keep some of the flowers as payment for all this problem we're having, but I think we're going to need Frederico to work for people who will keep him safe, and that's not us.
Okay. So, should we still offer to do something to make it up to them for their loss of, you know,
Well, he said
guys?
it. We obviously helped them cut costs. It was a misunderstanding, and what he will be returning with should easily compensate his boss.
I don't like this at all.
So would he be giving us this promise, or would his boss be talking to us to give us this promise?
We're going to have to take it on a little faith that he can negotiate.
If you trust him, I didn't get
I
a
don't
chance to
trust him, no, but the other option is to disappear him and leave before somebody comes to find out where all of these people went, which could be happening right now.
True. So option A, we work with the devil. Option B, we try to kill the demon.
If you want to look at it that way, yeah.
Well, I say if we're going to work with the devil, we should try to get a lot out of it.
If we take the flowers and if we can manage to leave Federico and his family out of the negotiations,
Mm-hmm.
we could pass the flowers and possibly the technology from Federico onto the New Republic.
I have a friend. You remember my friend the fox? And
Yes.
Corell gives Tazi a distinctive look.
Yes, the fox.
The fox might be able to help relocate Federico and family and research to somewhere safe. Ish. I mean, there's not really anywhere safe, but safer than this.
Yeah, I mean they're fully exposed here. We can't leave them here.
Right. I know. That's why I'm waiting for an answer back. If the fox and the fox's friends are capable of handling this, then we're going to be going to them. Otherwise, we need to possibly disappear ourselves for a little while, and not in the way I mean disappearing him in the original threat.
Yeah.
Disappear
I get
means
you.
too many things.
Okay, so I'm hearing make the deal, get Frederico and his wife off planet to somebody nice that won't use him for bad things.
Yes.
And we hope that our deal works.
I mean, hope's all we got right now. You can't build much on it, but it's what we got. All right. Federico, does that sound okay to you?
I mean, I don't really feel like we have much other choice here.
Well, I mean, you have a lot of choices. There's just not a lot of good ones. But at the end of the day, is this decision something you can live with?
Yes, I hope.
Okay. Yeah, we hope so too. All right. So I will go talk to our guest and see about getting them set up. A1, do you have one of those untraceable comms? Like the burner comms?
Yes.
Let me
Yep.
have it. I'm going to let him make a call.
Okay.
We might want to start packing in case we need to leave somewhat urgently. But I don't think we're going to need to if this works out.
Okay.
All right.
We'll do.
Okay. And break.
Break what?
What are we breaking?
Not. Has it been
Why?
that long? What?
The
Carl
figure,
walks out.
The figure of speech. Got it.
And heads down to talk to our prisoner.
A1 looks over at Tazi as Corell's walking up. That's such a weird figure of speech. Why would you break something when we walk away? And that just kind of fades out as Corell goes down the hallway.
Yeah, and then I will head down to talk to our prisoner, open the door. Okay, so we have come to a decision, and
Oh, very well.
your proposition is acceptable. Now, we are having to unfortunately take your word for it. If you could possibly get some reassurance from a higher up, we would feel more comfortable with it. But a 50% split of the flowers, you take 50% and no hard feelings. You're free to go. And we are free to go. Frederico's free to go. His family's free to go. Amenable?
Very well. I believe I could try to work out a deal with you.
Okay. Kroll walks behind him and, like, cuts his bonds. And hands him the burner comm.
He looks at her. Oh, would you like me to make this call with you in the room?
If you need privacy, I can wait in the hall.
The choice is yours.
Corral leans against the doorway then.
All right. Making a quick note so I don't forget this. Is the comm a audio only or
Yeah, I believe so.
to how? Okay.
It's a cell phone.
All right. He punches in a code, and you hear a voice. Yes, Trayson, you were supposed to report in a while ago. Says, well, had a minor hiccup. I'm able to recover half of the flowers that we thought we would get. And I will be coming back with just one ship and a few less on the payroll. And you hear the voice, I'm assuming that is something that we will discuss when you're back. And Trayson looks over at Corral. The kind of look of, is that enough?
At that point, Corral just speaks up. Well, it's a pretty good deal. We would just also like assurances that things between us are square.
You hear the other voice. I would assume you are the one that has unburdened me of a few mouths to pay.
I mean, you were probably overpaying them anyway. However, yes. And we've been having a lovely conversation here. And honestly, I'd rather just, half a pot is better than none, as they say in the gambling circles. We both win that way.
Very well. If my associate here feels that it is in our best nature for us to part on good terms, I will trust his decision.
And Corral now gives him the are we kosher look.
He smiles at you with that toothy grin again and says, I believe that this is a fair deal for both.
And that is agreed.
And you hear the voice on the comm say, then I would conclude our meeting as I have other things I need to attend to. Please allow Trayson to leave.
Oh, he is free to go. We are going to go from this point. We will go get him the agreed upon items, and then he is free to leave.
Thank you. And the comm cuts off. And Trayson stands up from the chair. Well, after you.
And Corell looks at the comm and goes, "You can keep that. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a chance to meet again in a in a less combative place."
And he smiles, and this smile's a little crooked smile, and he goes, "So in other words, you won't shoot me first."
I wasn't planning on shooting you at all. Let me get one thing absolutely clear here. If I am ever going to shoot you, you will be facing me, you will have a gun in your hand, and you will be awake, and not blindfolded, and conscious. I'm one of those. I'm a romantic. I believe in fair fight.
He
But
starts heading
I don't
down
expect.
the hallway.
Yeah, I'm walking with him. I don't expect a fight with you in the near future. So, I believe this will be a beneficial relationship, profitable for all of us.
Let's hope so.
And we head upstairs.
He follows you to get the flowers, and then
Yep. I split them. I create the piles and I tell him to pick what pile he wants.
All right.
You know, it's like pancakes. You make sure they're equitable, and then I show him to the front door.
He heads back to his ship, because one of them was damaged, and the other one I think was still.
The other one destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them was destroyed. One was just damaged and still can be flown. He heads out and disappears in the distance as he's walking away.
Once he's out of line of sight, I will close and lock the door and turn back to get the group.
Okay. Click, the door locks. You head back. A1's sitting there.
I think we're good to go. It seemed he called his boss, and the boss seemed very amenable to our solution, and we have parted neutrally. So, that being said, there's nothing stopping him from then strafing the building with his ship, so perhaps we should leave at this point, and then we'll figure out where to go.
Before looks over your crow and just says,
Did he ask for anything in return? Or did he just agree to the terms?
He agreed to the terms.
And you asked for nothing else?
He seemed completely amenable to the fact that we freed him from some overpaid and under-muscled thugs, so his bottom line is going to improve. But they didn't actually bring up the question of our guests. So either Trayson was much more important than we thought, or we are not seeing all the pieces on the board yet.
I'm willing to bet it's option B.
Or both. I mean, that's part of the game sometimes for us. We never know what's being moved and where.
Hence our current situation.
Yeah, you could say that. I'm gonna go pack, and I suggest we amscray. Sorry,
Right.
that's sorry. I should say that in basic. Get out of here.
Yeah. No, I got you. I understood.
And Corell turns to go grab her kit and go get the ship ready.
Krell leaves the room. D4 looks over at Tazi.
I watch a master of manipulating people in groups. Never once did he agree so quickly to a deal without already having the upper hand. feel we might be more, or how shall I say, in the dark, I believe is the term, than we think we are.
No, D4. I think we are as in the dark as we think we are. We have very little information still.
I feel we must find a way to find out what the gentleman truly wants with us.
We have
Because I
just
do
enough
not feel-
information. We have just enough information to make more bad decisions.
That is a fair assessment. I just would caution us to be
Cautious.
on the alert, yes. I felt that saying the same word twice would be repetitive. I do say
Happens-
language is an odd thing.
Happens to us all the time. It happens to everybody. Don't worry about it, D4.
Very well, Captain. Shall we prepare to leave, or are we staying here for a while?
No, I think we should prepare to head out pretty quickly.
Very well.
If Carell's contact comes through, we're going to need to move our friends off planet.
I will prepare them and give them some supplies for the trip.
And he turns and heads towards the kitchen area.
What's A1 doing?
A1 just kind of looks around and then heads towards the ship.
I think he
He's
runs
gonna
into
get the
Corell
ship.
as she's leaving the building too. So
As you're both kind of bump into each other, then A1 goes, so before we leave?
Yeah.
Maybe we should go to the wrecked ship that you said you threw into the other. Anyways.
We could get a new door.
And some other parts real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Grab the hover sled and out of the ship, and I'll meet you. I'm gonna put my stuff away, and we'll head down there.
All right.
Good
I
idea,
think-
A1.
I think there's going to be a little, just make it easy, and a little montage of A1 and Corell salvaging parts from the broken ship.
Do we find anything interesting, or is it just basically a ship?
One sec, because I feel like I have some talent for A1 that might actually.
Like something salvagey?
Yeah. Trying to look and see. Huh, maybe not. Thought he did. Guess not. Got a lot of other stuff. He can make a lot of stuff, but nothing for salvaging. I thought there was something. I can look it up later if there's something that I truly think we needed. So,
Okay. Yeah. So Tazi, you get a quick comm message that just in text says, "Going to salvage their crashed ship. We'll be back to KF in 1 hour."
Ozzy replies back with a winky emote.
Just have both
Taco
A1
poop.
and A1 and Corell just make hard mechanics checks.
Yeah.
The better we roll, the more stuff we find that's not already destroyed. A1 ended up with 3 successes. And that's it. 3 successes.
I'm gonna spend a light side point.
Okay.
You said a hard check?
Yep, 3 pearls.
Okay. Okay. 1 success and 2 threats.
So between the two of them, yeah, I mean, we're gonna be able to fix the loading ramp or boarding ramp, get that fixed up, get some more armor on it from the haul, from places that we've lost
Salvaged it, yeah.
pieces, and yeah, probably some extra hull parts, engine parts, stuff like that. Stuff that Chris doesn't know enough about spaceships to know it all, but quite a few extra parts that you guys didn't have before. Uh, Lots of copper wire, because that's really probably not that big of a deal on Star Wars, but enough that you guys can
We find some parts.
start fixing stuff up. Yeah.
Okay.
The threats. I think as you guys are wrapping up, Krell, you trip a self-destruct, and you guys manage to get off the ship just in time as it blows up and sends parts and pieces everywhere.
Oh, we could have used that. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a perfectly good landing. Ooh. Okay,
Well,
neither the tree nor the landing gear survived that. So, okay. Let's just get back. Tazi's going to be worried. He probably heard the explosion.
and you guys roll back with a bunch of parts and stuff on the hover sled and get back. And Tazi, you did hear the explosion, and you see Corell and A1 roll up with a bunch of parts. A1 rolls up. Got some good stuff. Well, get to work on putting it all together later.
What was the what was that? That sound was an explosion. Something blew up.
Yeah.
We scuttled
Yeah.
their ship, so nobody else could use it.
Good. That's good.
It was a masterful thought. I was really impressed that A1 came up with it.
Corell, you're leaking oil. And
Wait,
A1
Corell's leaking.
No, not that. That's just
it's one of those figures of speech.
A1. Isn't this about the time when you load things onto the ship
Yeah.
instead of talking to Tazi?
Yeah.
And she's making like a sweeping gesture with her hand.
And I think we see A1 start to load parts up, and I think we have a short little bit with Corell and A1 fixing the loading ramp with a real loading ramp, so you don't have the broken one. And then you guys load everybody up on the ship and head off up into space. And I think that's where we'll stop for tonight.
I agree. I think that's a good spot to stop. Want to thank everybody who tuned in live tonight for taking part in our chat. I definitely see some of our Rook and Rasp friends, a couple people that know Michael from various places are there. So thank you all for coming tonight. And anybody who's listening, thank you for listening after the fact. We do appreciate that, whether on YouTube or on the podcast. We will be back in 2 weeks, I believe, which will be, what date will that be? That's right before Memorial Day, I believe, or right after, the day after Memorial Day, I believe. So we will be back in 2 weeks, same redemption time, same Smuggler's Blues channel. Michael, where can people find you on the internet if they want to talk more about our wonderful show?
Well, you can certainly find us on the Rick and Rasp Discord, talking about our show in the Snugglepod areas. You can find us there. You can find me on the show To Be Their Teens with Titans, which is a Power Rangers inspired audio drama. We are puttering along through season 2, releasing episodes once a month, and we are having a great time with that show. I get to play the team mentor. It's a lot of fun. Um, and then you'll see me or hear me in other things moving forward. Other projects are in the works. Always something going on.
Chris, how about you? You got always something going on? What are you doing tomorrow
Yeah.
night? Are you doing something tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're doing detention on the RPG Academy. I do that the Wednesdays right after this show. Myself and Michael, we talk about gaming stuff. We have guests on, talking about different things in gaming. We try to give out some advice, but pretty much just two guys chatting about nerd stuff and just playing some silly improv games. So if you want to know where my fingers have been, watch the show tomorrow. Otherwise, Thursday, I am wrapping up our last session of Dragonlance. We finally got through the module. They finally defeated the Dragon High Lord and saved the city of Kalaman. And then we're going to see what we're going to do after that. Otherwise, you can find me on Discord channel here on Rook and Rasp or the RPG Academy. I don't really do a whole lot of other social media stuff. Just not my thing anymore. So where can we find you, Kaylee?
You can also find me doing a guest voice on a couple episodes of Tubular Teens with Titans, where I'm playing the mother of one of our aforementioned teens. And you can also find me on Rook and Rasp, where I hang out in the channel and talk with people and things. Occasionally do tarot with people on Sundays. So that's a lot of fun. There are some more stuff. There's more stuff coming up. We're getting ramped up for a catacon coming up at the end of this year. So I know that vendor applications are opening up, coming up on June 1st. So keep an eye on the channel so that we're not doing a Kickstarter this year. So
Also, if I can drop one more thing in for Rook and Rasp, I know we are in the
course.
planning processes of bringing back Seriously Let's Play.
Seriously?
Seriously, the Saturday focus show that lets us play a one role playing game at a time, usually by almost always by an independent group, and usually with the creator of the game running the game for us. So it's always a lot of fun. It's a wide and varied cast of individuals that help contribute, and yeah, we'll be getting the schedules out for those hopefully very soon. I know they are in the works.
Yeah, I know there's at least 3 new game makers going to be running games. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's the 5th
Yeah.
year for this.
I think so.
That's what got me onto Rook and Rasp was a serious Let's Play game, and I've been
Mhm.
hanging out and irritating people there for ever since. So, anyways, thank you all for coming again and watching our show. I hope you all have a great week and eventually weekend and a holiday weekend, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Excellent. See you then.